much man glitter do you
I
have?
got to get sexy.
One could argue that
And
you never look sexier.
less sexy. I feel like I'm fuzzy.
I like these shirts. We should get more.
Uh-huh.
How
These are more because these weird because they're like the old size, but they're slightly
they're a little snug.
yeah. Uh-huh.
To make
To
it
show off your bulges.
yeah in your shirt.
Oh, like stay on the check.
In the back of your pants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know if are we going? Oh, hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching a very exciting reveal. The very first time we've ever been able to do this reveal,
Uh-huh.
because this is the first time that we have offered paint your guitar. Chris, tell us what paint your guitar is. I already know. Tell it.
It's where you come and you paint your guitar. Back to you, Matt. So
Jane
Richard was it's a week-long paint intensive class. And it's one of the first classes that we've offered where there was a prerequisite.
Yes.
And that was that you had to have come to one of our learn to fart.
You had to, prerequisite is you had to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, everybody succeeded. No, you had to have come to one of our previous build classes.
Yes.
Build a set neck, build a classic set neck, build a classic bolt-on.
Mhm.
And the reason for that was that we wanted to be somewhat familiar with everybody's project and know that they were ready to start painting on day one.
Yeah, so they had
Start
to
sealing
have a
on
project
day
that was
one.
ready to go.
Yes.
Plus, everybody you came was super cool.
Yes. Yeah. And we could sort of weed through the ones we didn't want.
Yeah. Raul said that we should have a class that's by invitation,
Uh-huh.
which I think is a great idea.
I do think that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah.
An exclusive
Uh-huh.
workshop.
Yeah.
Well, tell them what it was going to be about.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, so we probably shouldn't tell yet. But yeah.
So anyway, that was the point of this class was to learn everything that you didn't get, almost everything that you didn't get to learn in the Build a Classic, in this case, set neck class, because everybody, that's the class that they took.
Yeah.
When they left that class, they had a guitar that was completely constructed, all the wood was done, but it was ready for final finishing.
Yeah.
And so that's what this class was.
And another neat thing about this particular one was I did essentially nothing.
That was the neat thing.
Well, it was neat for me. Because you had to work your ass off the whole week because, you just did.
And yet here I am with this fat old chance.
You still got some ass there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It didn't work all off. Yeah, and but it was really fun and it was really cool, and everybody's project ended up really great, and I think everybody should be really, really proud of what they did this year.
Yeah, I am proud of it.
And everybody worked really, really hard.
Yeah.
Not just me.
Yeah. So before we get to showing off everyone's instrument that they built a couple, 3 months ago and painted a couple, 3 days ago, we were asked by our good friend Karsten, who is in Deutschland.
JH2.
Yep. And he asked us if we would build him a flying V. And I said, no. And then I said, wait, actually, we could build you a flying V if you allowed us to do the woodwork in one of our Build a Classic set neck workshops. And if you allowed us to do the paint work in our Paint Your Guitar workshop. And we get to pick a lot of the stuff you get to pick. Obviously, it's a V. And he wanted sunburst. But I said, well, can we do maple top and blah, blah, blah? Because that's kind of the thing that we do in those classes. He said, that's fine. So we painted it this week and it looks like $100 million.
It does. Yeah, and it's not completely done.
But it's painted. The paint's done and a little bit of the buffing's done.
But it turned out cool.
So
this is what I worked on when I was showing all the guys all the steps to do to theirs.
Now, the reason that we do a guitar that's not somebody else's is so that everybody gets the opportunity to do one. They don't like get singled out and let me have your guitar, so I'll show you how to do it, and then they don't get to do that.
Right. Yeah.
I hope that everyone's going, ooh, that V is rad, because it is rad. So it's a mahogany back, mahogany neck, maple, a little bit of flame maple on the top, rosewood fretboard with some inlays that Carson, actually, he did the CAD
He
work
did
on
the,
that.
yeah, he designed them.
And maple binding on the neck and maple binding on the body.
And I have some runs in it.
Well, but that's, that's what.
I was mostly saying that because for
You just
people
noticed them?
past this that also got runs.
Okay.
Runs happen,
If you ain't running, you ain't paint.
pretty much.
So anyway, so we're gonna get this buttoned up and sent off to Germany, and that will
That'll
be
be
cool.
during part 3 of the build a class. Learn to assemble your own guitar.
Learn to ship stuff. Learn to ship internationally.
There you go. I know that.
Well, yeah, you're teaching that class too.
Yeah. So,
So I'm gonna get out of the way here, and Chris is gonna talk to everybody who. Well, you,
okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
because you're the
Damn straight, get
you're
out of
the
here.
instructor. So I'm gonna boogie off stage
Okay.
stage right, and we'll get everyone up
All right.
one at a time.
Who's
With their
going
various
first?
projects.
Jason, jump up here at once. Makes me feel real good.
Makes me feel real.
Jason James from
Baltimore.
Baltimore. And tell them a little bit about your project here.
So I made a double cut, sort of like Les Paul Jr., but not exactly.
So it's basically 2 lower horns, right?
Yeah, it's the Les Paul lower horn,
Flipped it?
flip,
Yeah.
reverse mirror image or whatever. So it's totally symmetrical. It's gonna have P90s and a wraparound tailpiece. Mahogany one piece, mahogany body, mahogany neck. The headstock actually has a maple veneer, but you can't really see it because the paint job went on pretty dark on that. Maple top and cream binding on the neck and the body. I built this in October, and it has been extremely painful watching it sit in a case from then until now to come back and paint it. But I'm super excited about how it turned out.
Cool. So what did you think of all the processes? So the first thing that we did is we basically sealed for 2 days.
Yeah.
We sprayed 2 rounds of sealer on the first day, sanded the second day, and shot 2 more rounds of sealer.
Yeah. It was intensive. This is the second guitar I've painted, and I spent probably just as long painting that one, but it looks way crappier than this one. So,
Well,
and that was because I spent more time redoing steps that I had mucked up on my first guitar.
okay.
Whereas this one, we did more steps and we did them more intensively, but we did them right the first time.
Okay, that's cool. And then the third day, we sanded down all our sealer, got ready for base coat.
Yep.
What else did we do that day? Yeah, sanded them down. Did we get base coat done?
We got base coat done on
Yeah,
day 3.
yeah.
And this, not every guitar.
Most of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had like a thing to do afterwards. Yeah. So we did most of our base coats. So we learned how to sunburst.
Yep.
Everybody learned how to shoot sunburst.
So it's got a
Everybody did some sunburst.
black burst on the front and the back,
Yep.
all black on the sides.
Yep. Shot our base coat, learned to mask, learned to shoot base coat. And then Thursday shot clear.
Yep.
And then today, wet sanded and buffed and
Sanded some more, sanded.
I feel like we should
grinded.
just call this
Sanding.
Yeah.
Little Bob, Chris made a really big deal out of how we needed to sand these guitars ready to paint, ready to seal. And I'm super glad that that was the case, because looking at this guitar after several months, when we were ready to start shooting sealer on it, it was really ready to go.
Mhm.
Um,
That was one neat thing, is everybody's guitar came back the same that they left, and
Yeah.
they were ready for sealer.
Yep.
Yeah, we double checked them and did a couple little things here and there, minor things, 10-minute things.
Yeah.
And then we put them in the booth and started shooting sealer. So yeah, so that was really cool. What else?
What's the big idea with your guitar being shiny on the front and not shiny on the
Oh
back?
yeah, it's shiny on the front, not shiny on the back. For one, I like the feel of the matte neck. It's just really nice and soft. Feels great in your hands. Number 2, I honestly just wanted to, like, aesthetically, I like the matte finish on the back, but I kind of got to the point where I said, okay, I've done the buffing thing. That was fun. And I'm ready to just put this thing away.
Mhm.
And you don't have to kind of fret some of the little imperfections quite as much with the matte finish. And I did it and I like it. I'm happy with it.
Good.
And I'm glad that's the choice I made. I'm also glad the front is like mirror shiny. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. What was your favorite part? What was the hardest part? Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah. Favorite part, I think, was seeing how the sealer worked. And when we shot sealer, we also did a couple of bodies with the Texas Toast durable thin finish, which was an interesting alternative. And so seeing both of those processes, what the sealer does, how it goes on, how easily it lays out, how easily it sands, that was really eye-opening and is going to make me think a lot about how I'm painting guitars in the future. The hardest part, I think, was just the level of care that you have to take in every single step to not screw up the next step.
Uh-huh.
That if you're sloppy or you're rushed or you're not paying attention, you're going to create a problem that you've either got to fix or live with, and it's going to show up in the next part of the process.
Anything you wish you'd done differently or you wished you'd paid more attention to?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm
That's a fair answer.
super happy with what I did.
Yeah, so this is one of this is
Yeah.
our experiments. So this started out as an ash body. And we
Yep.
shot it with basically TV blonde
Yep.
and then sealer.
Yep.
And then we sprayed some black on it. And then we sanded all of that off. And these parts are actually all the low spots in the ash, all the really open grain.
Mm-hmm.
And then more sealer, more sanding.
Uh-huh.
And
But
that's-
not much sanding.
No. And then, and then this is one that we learned how to do sunbursts on.
Yeah.
And
And the crazy thing is that you could really see grain, like a lot of grain, for 2/3 of the process on this body. And then at some point it just went away.
it went away. And then Matt said, meow, meow, paint it like a tiger. We painted it this color. And this color actually started out bright orange.
Yeah, like
right?
neon orange.
Yeah, we shot it on this guitar, which had kind of a cream color to it, and it immediately went sort of brown,
Yep.
which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. And then we shot it in matte finish paint, which is different than what you did.
Yes.
You took a full shiny guitar
And just knocked it
and
down.
knocked it back until it was flat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was easy.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
That's a technique.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It was cool.
We learned that from Mike Learns. That means it's a thing.
It's official.
It is official, bona fide. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
great
for
class.
coming out.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll come out to another one.
Sounds good.
Not another paint class.
Not another paint class.
So who's next? All right, who's next?
Everybody's ready.
So this is our friend Raul, and Raul is from
Say it right, Chris.
Raul.
Thank you.
I still don't say it with enough
That's okay.
fervor and vigor in a lack.
That's okay. Most
So tell us a little bit about your project.
This is my Les Paul. We made the body and the neck. We made in the build a set neck class in September. It wasn't at the class you were at, but it was at the one
1 month before.
before that. And like my friend here, Jason, I stared at this in the case longingly for a long time, just waiting for the day where it be painted and assembled and put together. So she gave me quite a heartburn along the way. I messed up quite a few times, but I had the maestro who helped me fix all my boo-boos. So I was really grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
No problem. So tell us a little bit. So we have mahogany back,
Mahogany.
maple top,
Mhm. We have cream binding.
cream binding, and this isn't wide cream binding. It's actually got some of the maple top showing beneath,
Sure, if you-
right?
TV, they can see that.
Like a little midriff.
Yeah.
Little flame maple midriff.
Very
I
cool.
think that's what we should call that.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's really cool. And then you did a sunburst.
Did a sunburst on the back.
on the front.
Very,
Yeah.
very happy with the way that turned out.
Mhm.
I didn't have an idea what I wanted this to look like, so I was quite surprised and happy
Uh-huh.
with the way it turned out. I was wondering what it would look like when it was done, so it was nice to see it when it finally did turn out.
Yeah, cool. And then show off your headstock logo.
Yeah, everyone wants to know if we can do headstock logos, and yeah.
Yeah.
We did the Chris did this on the computer. I picked out the name. This is my grandmother's maiden name, Maureen. And my great grandfather was very important to my dad. He was a very noble man, so I thought it would be appropriate to name after this.
That's really cool. It turned out great. And this isn't the only guitar that you brought.
No, it's not.
Not by a long shot. You want to show off somebody else?
In my defense, I was told we're gonna have a lot of downtime, so you can work.
That is absolutely true.
I brought more than I should have, but I
Here, let's
went a little overboard.
this one.
Here's another one. This is a PRS kit, and Chris actually came up with the idea of making the front shiny and the back satin.
And this one we actually shot in satin, right?
Yeah.
We didn't just dull back the
Right.
and I don't mean just dull back. I mean we specifically shot it with
Yes,
with matte paint.
this was intentional. We did this ahead of time, and I think it's great.
That's because we didn't have enough time.
Well,
Because we started this one in sealer a day late.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, but I liked it. I mean, you guys in TV land, what do you think? I think it looks great.
Yeah, looks good.
So I like the characteristics of the wood,
Uh-huh.
and I like the way it feels. I think a lot of guitar players like to have the satin feel on the neck. So
Uh-huh.
so I think this is
Yeah, and in the end, we sort of, I don't want to say we had to rush the last day, but if we'd had 2 days to wet sand and buff, everybody would have really hated wet sanding and buffing by the end of day 2, but we would have had, there would have been more shiny guitars, I think, or more sand throughs. I don't know if it's like-
Yes, I had quite a few of those too.
I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not naming names, but sand throughs happen, and it's kind of a bummer when it happens, huh?
Yeah, and this I'm just realizing there's something I forgot.
Yeah, we'll fix that after the video. So, what was your favorite part? What was the hardest part?
The hardest part was living with myself after my mistakes. And groveling to one of these two, telling him that I made a mistake. And wondering if I was gonna get a verbal slap to the back of the head, for doing this.
Or a real one?
Or a real one,
Or
yeah.
a real one? Yeah, a lot of the mistakes we were able to fix.
Lot.
And, if we had an extra day or two, we'd be able to fix even more mistakes. Unfortunately, last hour mistakes, sometimes you can't do anything about them. But that's okay.
But overall, I mean, I think this is great. I think it's beautiful.
And nobody can see what the problem is.
No one can see my boo-boos from where you sit. Can you sit my boo-boos?
Well, if you show it like that, they will. So. And let's show some of your other projects. Here, take that.
Oh, where's some of the other ones? I don't know. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Oh man, it's already started packing some of them?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I get 'em.
Well, everybody knows what a telly body looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So here's another one, and this is one of the projects that you brought to the first class.
Yes.
Is you're like, how do I complete this? And this was a body that a guy had made that you had inherited, right?
Yeah, I gave
Basically,
it to-
that's sort of a short end version of that story. Didn't have a neck pocket. Had pickup routes and all of this, and you wanted to put a neck pocket in it and put a neck in it that you had.
No, we built the
Didn't
neck.
fit.
That's right. The
And
neck
so-
order didn't fit.
And so Matt and Raoul hunkered down and built this neck and put the pocket in and did some other stuff to it. And that's one project.
And here's the telly
Here's the telly. And this was another one that you brought to the last class
that we didn't get to do.
that we didn't get to do. Yeah, in the build a classic set neck class, and we didn't get to paint your telly body.
Just hoping.
Just hoping.
Just hoping.
Down tonight.
Making guitars is easy.
It is easy. Yep. And then there's also a white strap.
I get the white shirt. Yeah, look at the white.
We know what that. I know what a white strap is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's turned out real pretty. I'm really happy. Of all the guitars I did, this is the fewest boo-boos.
Bodies are easier than guitars with necks on.
So this turned out really, really nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it did. So favorite part was
I think my favorite part was taking off the tape from the binding and watching it go from from the paint booth to what's it gonna look like.
Kind of like Christmas morning, right?
Yeah, I was unwrapping the gifts. You're kind of like just watching it come, like, okay, this is what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. Ooh,
So-
that does look nice.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Good. What's your next project?
You got it.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say assembling the eight dozen.
Oh, well, yeah, well, they got
Johnson.
to it. The next class should be interesting, but I'm not gonna say what it's about because I'm not allowed to yet.
Yeah, keep it under your hat.
Cool. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And yeah. You got it? Yeah. All right, Dean, you're up.
All the way from Iowa.
All the way from Iowa, direct from Iowa.
Direct from Iowa.
Big Ten champs in basketball, women's and men.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's got to cling to something.
Yep.
And watch this. Our good friend Dean, and this is what Dean made. Tell us a little bit about your project.
This was a 336 interpretation by me. I made a Setnik class in October.
Uh-huh.
And in building it, I decided I want to paint Le Mans blue. So I went for Le Mans blue. It's a GM color from the 60s. They put it on Vets, Pontiacs, Chevelles. I think I could get in the catalog. Burst in the back because I want to do that.
And that's Blackburst.
That's black burst, and I left the mahogany plain because I like the look of just regular old mahogany.
Yeah, so that's just mahogany with sealer and clear on it,
Yep.
which I thought was a bold choice. And now that it's done, it's really, really neat. And I really like the black on mahogany. That's something that we've never done. We've done really dark brown, but never black. And I liked it on both yours and Jason's. I thought that was really cool. So see, I learned stuff too. Cool.
How do you know that's Le Mans blue, Dean?
Truthfully, my parents had a Chevelle that was this color, and they bought it in '97. And
I was kind of hoping you'd tell the story about how you got it from the paint.
Oh, I Googled it. And I searched around.
Let me ask a different way. How can you guarantee that you get the exact Le Mans blue color?
You order it from a car restoration place,
Okay.
and they have the entire GM catalog. You can search by model of vehicle, manufacturer, model, and make, or year.
Paint
model,
code.
Paint code. I didn't know the paint code.
Yeah.
So, and it was really easy to do. I was really happy with the quality of paint that I got
Yeah, it was nice
And-
paint.
and how it turned out. It sprayed really nicely.
Yep. Tell us, so we did a logo on yours as well.
Yep.
Who's Dot?
Aha. Yes, it's cursive. That's just a nickname I went by growing up. I thought it'd be neat to put it on there.
For Dale Jr.?
Sure.
Named after your parents' favorite race car driver.
No.
Okay.
I did not like that guy.
Okay.
They thought he was a jerk for wrecking other cars. Sure.
Yeah, Robin's racing.
Not according to them.
So what was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part?
Putting color on it was my favorite part.
Okay.
Because it really transformed into how it was going to look.
Uh-huh.
Sealer was really nice. Watching it level out and get perfectly level.
Uh-huh.
But I've sealed projects before and done that, and just seeing the color on it, just the transformation it makes from being raw wood, the color really makes it an instrument all of a sudden.
Yeah, cool. What was the scariest part?
Oh, probably buffing.
Yeah.
The lightning bolts are kind of sharp. You gotta be really careful around the wheels. So don't break
Yeah.
them.
Uh-huh.
Throw it across the room or break them. So that was a bit nerve wracking trying not to kill myself or anybody else in the shop doing that.
Uh-huh.
I think I succeeded.
I think you did too. We're all here.
Nobody's called Lefty.
No. Not right now.
So, Dean, you got a table that you're working on at home, right? That you're going to use some of the same
Yes.
principles.
I'm gonna use a Syntec finish to fill it, make it nice, perfectly smooth. And then I'm gonna use the medical clears to actually color the wood the way my wife wants it. And then I'm gonna clear the whole thing so it really shines nice. And I intentionally buffed the top. So
How are you going to hold an 800-pound table up against the wheel?
It's gonna be rough. I'm gonna buy a car book. Yeah. And I did the back in satin so we could see how that would look too. So we got some comparisons to the wife can pick what she wants, and then I'll make her buff if she wants it shiny.
It's a lot harder after today as far as buffing.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, cool. So did you have fun?
I did. Yes, I
Good.
really enjoyed myself.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Are you sure?
Well, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, get out of here.
Get out of here. Woo-hoo. There you go. That pretty much wraps it up.
I think it does. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm coming back.
Yeah. And you got to talk about something, right?
I'm always talking. so,
Yeah.
Well, so thanks to everyone who came out to the Paint Your Own Guitar Workshop. It was a lot of fun, and I think it was so much fun for Chris that we won't do it again.
Well, so
Have you acquiesced a little on this?
so I keep trying to explain this to people,
Okay.
and it's not the people,
No.
and it's not the it's not even necessarily the process. It's just too much paint time
Yeah.
for our setup. Yeah, and the other thing was, as much painting and sanding as we did on the projects, there was still a tremendous amount of downtime, and everybody else did all sorts of other stuff. Jason and Dean built some
Made
decks.
a bunch of necks.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Raul made a neck and did a bunch of other stuff, but that gets sort of convoluted as well. But there was just so much paint. I'll bet you I spent 25 hours on the paint booth this week.
I wouldn't be one bit
Yeah,
surprised.
and
Yeah.
that's way too much.
I-
that stuff. for me.
I've been trying to figure out a way to make it realistic, and I just now that we have this one under our belts, I'm still working on it for everybody who wants to come and try it. But how about this? We've been very adamant that we're not doing it again. But if we get enough people that want to do it,
Yeah,
that might change our mind.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, we got to figure out some other ways to do it.
But how about this? If it's one thing, the line of people that say I want to do it, and the line is way longer than the line of people that said, "Here's money, I'm coming."
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
So so that line was 3 people long.
Uh-huh.
The line of people who always say you should do paint classes is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you guys like the whole idea of doing a paint class, well, maybe we can figure that out. But as of right now, we have no plans to offer this again, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's not an indictment on anybody that was
No.
here. I enjoyed the week tremendously, and I hope everybody that participated did. And I think they should be really happy with what they came away with.
Yeah.
Everybody came away with something that was better than my expectations. I had fairly high expectations, but I also know how delicate some of this stuff is, and everybody did a really, really good job, and it should be really proud of their guitars. And the other neat thing is they should be proud of them not only for the paint, but for the woodwork that they put in the first class. And that was really, for me, that was the most rewarding part, was watching it go from wood to a thing that's completely ready for assembly, paint and all.
Yep.
So yeah, these guitars are all an hour away from being playable. That's a joke. It'll take more than an hour to
Just add a 0.
yeah, maybe, but I mean, they're closer than they were 5 days ago, and that's really neat.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, thanks again, guys. Matt talking, take 2. Thanks to everybody who came out to the paint your guitar workshop, and thank you guys for watching. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on the whole notion of more paint classes, and maybe we can figure out some way to do that. Now, we had this issue last night. We are still offering a paint component to build a classic Fender, build a classic Tele, build a classic Strat, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
The stuff in May comes with a paint component,
Uh-huh.
just not this paint component.
Right. And Jason and I talked about this the other day, and people don't believe me when I say the difference between that paint job, which is pretty darn cool, and this paint job is like 4 or 5 times as much work.
Yep.
It's way more work to end up with a shiny car fender
Yeah.
than a cool satin finish.
And the paint with Mike Learn class is still a paint component as well. But
Yeah.
and
And that has a satin component.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the difference there is you show up and the bodies are already sealed, and maybe that's a way we could offer this in the future. But
Maybe.
I
But then it just turns into just sort of a pseudo Mike Learn class, only with solid or sunburst,
well,
which is different too. So,
but that might be cool.
and way more downtime.
Yep. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. We're gonna enjoy the rest of St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we're gonna go for
I'm gonna shirk the rest of my adult responsibilities.
absolutely.
I am done for the week.
Absolutely. And we hope that you guys do the same, because it's our job to be a bad example. So until Sunday, when we're going to do more of the Challenger build, it's, I think, part the 4th. We will see you guys then on Sunday at same bat time, same bat channel as we normally do. So until then, this is Matt.
This is Chris.
Reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar, and we will see you on Sunday, y'all. So have a great weekend.